Ladies and germs, good evening and welcome. Mrs. L and I are back from an evening at the beautiful Chipriani on 42nd Street, right across from Grand Central. What a night. It was a WABC gala benefiting Tunnels to Towers, Shriners Hospital. We had we have hats and Tunnels to Tower hats, and all of the WABC folks were there. Got some good pictures I'm going to be posting with my good friend Curtis Sliwa, Anthony Cumia, the greatest police commissioner Ray Kelly. Lee Greenwood sang God Bless the USA. Joe Piscopo, Cousin Brucey's been around a long time. A veritable, just an evening, so much food, so much amazing women on stilts, and can you believe that? Oh, they had. I mean, it's just, Uncle Sam, and just this. If this thing wasn't $1 million, I mean, I'm not kidding you. 600 people, Chipriani. It was incredible. I mean, it was incredible. But a great cause and a great evening, and I'm going to be posting some photos for you to see. I talked to Curtis Lee at length. I said, what is going on? He is great. Talked to his wife, he and Nancy. Eric Adams was there. I didn't speak with him. But it was just a great evening. A great evening. Very, very New York. Very, very, very didn't it remind you kind of the old days a little bit? Huh? Police athletically benefited. But didn't that tonight remind you of kind of like the old New York? You know what I mean? It really was just, it was kind of fancy. It's very, very nice. Mrs. L looked absolutely gorgeous. Just pulchritudinous in her duds. Was very, very proud. So, my friends, I want to tell you about the president kind of selling out a little bit. I'm very disappointed with the president. We'll talk about that very, very briefly. Let me talk to you now. Before I forget, I've got to put this in right now. Folks, I don't know what you're waiting for. Let me make it simple. One day, the shit is going to hit the fan. Pardon my French. We're going to have power outages, grid failure, I don't know what. You're going to be out of food because the stores are going to close. Everything is going to be shut. And you're going to say, why didn't I go to preparedwithlionel.com and get the 3-month supply with a special 4-week emergency food kit, a $247 value? They told me to do this. They warned me about it. But I said, no, that's okay. I'll get around to it. That's not going to happen here. That's that crazy prepper talk. Well, look at us now. And now I'm scrounging around for I don't know what. There are no clothes, no stores, and no clothes as well. Maybe that's the problem. Listen to what I'm saying. Do yourself a favor. My Patriot Supply is the name of the company. But the deal that benefits us, that benefits you, that has been with us forever is preparedwithlionel.com. I'm going to leave this link up here in the description section. Preparedwithlionel.com. Do it, my friends. Do it. Now, I'm not going to spend a lot of time, but I'm saying sometimes, as you know, I love the president, but I don't think he knows what the hell he's doing half of the time. I don't think he has any idea about what's going on with Bill Gates. I don't think he has any idea what's going on with big tech. And Melania Trump, bless her heart, doesn't know anything about AI. They have just been, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, I couldn't blame them if they said, when you leave, you will receive a deferred AI. You will be a gazillionaire. AI Not only that, this fight that Bobby Kennedy is fighting and pledging the tip of the spear against these fascists, these biomedical tyrants, this biomedical martial law. And then we turn around and then we have this Bill Gates business. I don't understand it. Bill Gates is so evil. And then you had Bill Gates with Mark Zuckerberg, Tim Cook, Sundar Pichai, Sam Altman, a weird dude, Satya Nadella, all these folks at Microsoft caught at the White House groveling before President Trump and groveling right back. And what unfolded wasn't just another closed-door meeting. It was a historic display of weakness from the so-called masters of the universe, desperate to win favor with the most powerful man in the world. But yet, they laid out their vision: depopulation through vaccines, manipulation of human life through gene editing, control of agriculture and food supply, and the rise of geoengineering to regulate weather and resources. For the love of God, the elites packaged this as philanthropy and innovation, but the undertones were clear: population control, centralization of power, total dependence on technocratic overlords. It was absolute horror. And President Trump's presence in the room symbolized what, a reversal of fortune, maybe? You know, for years, big tech censored his movement, pushed globalist propaganda, worked hand in hand with the establishment to silence dissent. Now they're at the doorstep, forced to beg for acceptance, forced to beg for access, relevance, and survival in an America First era. This is more than a meeting. It's the collapse of two worldviews. On one side, Gates and his allies pushing depopulation, surveillance, and control. I hope you're listening to me. I hope you're listening to me. Because this is dystopian. This is depopulation. This is eugenics. This is everything. This is going to be the end of the world. And what AI does, the putrefaction, the infection of young minds, what it will do for children and kids. These are the world's enemies sitting at a table. These are the robber barons meet the most sinister people whose sole concern is not just profit motive, but the control of the destiny of humankind through transhumanism and through, do you not see this? We get this, but the rest of the world doesn't. The rest of the world doesn't. That's the part that kills me, and I don't understand it. But we're going to plow ahead, and we're going to tell everybody that we know this. We're going to tell everybody that we know this. This is the most important thing. How do I say this? I want people to grasp this. Do you think I'm overreacting? Is there anyone watching who's typing or maybe wants to, who says, man, where are you getting this from? I don't see this. This is just Bill Gates, and he's kind of a weird guy, but this is all good. We all benefit. Does anybody feel like that? I can tell you, Mrs. L's colleagues, her compatriots in the child predation world, or rather the prevention of such, they're going berserk. They're going berserk over what's happening with this. They don't know what's going on. And then you've got Bill Gates, who's groveling before the president. Groveling. Did you see this? Are you watching this? And it wasn't just Gates, but again, did you see did you notice who these folks were? You saw Zuckerberg with his new hair. Tim Cook, this guy from Google, this Sundar from Google. Sam Altman, he's another one of these spectral dudes, which is fine. Nadella from Microsoft. These titans of tech. These are the most evil. These people should scare the living shit out of you. Do you understand this? And they're looking at the rest of the world and they say, you don't know who I am, do you? Bill Gates is saying, you still don't know who I am. Lining up like schoolboys, shuffling their feet, hats in hand, begging the current president of the United States for forgiveness after what they did for him and to him. And let me tell you something, without going into detail. You want to go after sexual freaks? There's a couple of them there who will go pound to pound. Let me tell you something. When you own the world, you have nothing but you have nothing to do. I'll never forget this. It was a case, I think I told you. A very, very, very famous actress one time, well, actress or star, said, and my friend heard this, she only fantasized about her son. And the reason that she gave was that her son is the only person who would turn her down, who would say no, because she lives in a world of just complete and total unfettered debauchery where anything and everything goes. These people are real. And there's the president, and there's Melania. And she's talking about AI. And you know what? I know she means well. I know. But when I hear her reading and speak, I'm thinking, I don't think she knows what she's saying. I don't think she knows what she's saying. I don't know if it's a language thing. I don't know if, I don't know. Do you? Do you feel like she really understands this, that they're propping her up here? Let's say, told her, you play your cards right, and you're going to get on the back end. Oh, I'd like to get 10% of some AI, Google AI or Open AI. I mean, this is whatever you thought about computers and big tech. This is off the charts. I mean, think about this whole image. Think about it. The very same oligarchs who censored Trump. Are you following this? The very folks who censored Trump, censored you, censored me, censored truth itself. These bastards now forced to deal at the Resolute desk. History has a weird and a funny way of flipping the script, don't you think? Are you with me on this? Who's with me? Is this too late for you? Am I catching you too late? Are you with me? Huh? And here's the deal. But what did Gates bring to the table? The same tired obsessions. This guy doesn't do anything. He doesn't help anybody. It's not about helping society. It's about controlling it, shutting it down. Vaccines. Do you have any doubt about what's going on regarding vaccines? Vaccines, depopulation, gene editing, control of the food supply, geoengineering, chemtrailing the sky itself, weather manipulation, weather weaponization. Gates packaged it, as always, in his stale language of philanthropy and innovation. It's bullshit. But peel back the PR gloss and the veneer and the nonsense, and what do you have? The blueprint for dystopia. Population. Are you paying attention? Population reduction, centralized government, the eugenic stream dressed up as tech progress. Am I getting through? Tell me I'm getting through. Give me a nod, blink. This isn't philanthropy. This is not charity. This is not science for the good of humanity. This is control. This is the end game of transhumanism, the petrification, the putrefaction, this weird kind of, I don't know, this disquietude of young minds, the remolding of children's very biology, the conditioning of generations to accept programming, not just on their devices, but in their DNA. Are you following me? Blink. Look at the cast of characters. These aren't entrepreneurs. They're not inventors. They're not doing anything to help anybody. They're the rubber barons, I guess, of the digital age. Petty tyrants whose wealth has poisoned their morality. They've moved beyond profit. Profit is old hat. Now they lust for something deeper. Destiny, the ability to shape and mold and dictate the trajectory of humankind itself. You hear what I'm saying? That's what this White House photo op is all about. That's what it represents. Are you with me? Are you blinking? Just blink. The collision of two worldviews, maybe. On one hand, you've got Gates and his technocrats, these technocratic cartels. It's a worldview that says that humanity must be managed and monitored and ultimately minimized. That's it. A worldview that sees people as livestock, as cattle to be vaccinated and tracked and engineered and depopulated. You understand what's going on? On the other side, you've got Trump. Sovereignty, freedom, the will of the American people, the belief that destiny is not dictated or to be dictated in Davos or in Silicon Valley or Bilderberg for that matter, or Basel or Mont Pelerin, but by citizens, families, communities, and a nation that bows only to God. Listen, I put this word out. This is to young folks. Forget us, forget my generation. We're through my for-dear break. They don't care. I'm looking to young folks. Pay attention. It's me talking. The stakes couldn't be higher. Bill Gates whispers about vaccines as salvation, but behind the curtain, it's depopulation. Do you know what depopulation means? Depopulation dressed up as medicine. You know, Zuckerberg and Pichai and these dudes, they smile about connecting the world, but their connection is surveillance. A digital panopticon designed to catalog every thought, every word, every movement. Sam Altman hypes AI as humanity's next chapter. But what chapter is that? What's he talking about? One where children are replaced by algorithms? You think I'm kidding? You think I'm exaggerating, right? Where creativity is outsourced to machines? You want this? Where human consciousness itself becomes just another data set? Are you with me? Digital enslavement, weird matter. Bingo. This isn't progress. This is regression. Regression wrapped in circuitry or something. This is technocratic feudalism, the return of kings and serfs with code instead of crowns. Are you with me? Do you hear me? Can you blink? Blink once. And yet, this is the term. This is the truth. They're afraid. Make no mistake. This groveling spectacle of the White House was not confidence. Oh, no. It was fear. For the first time in decades, the high priests of globalism, the very people who thought they could never be challenged, are being held to account by a president who cannot be bought, who cannot be silenced, who cannot be controlled, unless he wants to be, unless he wants to give in and say, oh, heck, I'll buy it. Listen, you know I love this president, but he's been bamboozled by Israel, bamboozled by AIPAC, bamboozled and hoodwinked by Bibi. This bullshit about Venezuela, let me bomb some because of TDA, Tren de Aragua. Oh, come on. They want the oil and the minerals. Are we stupid? I hope Trump knows this. I hope but it's all couched as, I kept thinking tonight that boat. I don't know to be careful. I can't believe we're showing a hit like that through this fiber. Look, ask yourself this question. Why would Bill Gates even show up in this thing? Why would Zuckerberg stand in line? Why would Pichai and Cook and Nadella and Altman, all these guys shuffle into the room? Yes, sir, Mr. President. Yes, sir. They don't need faux ops. They don't need press. They couldn't care less. Unless they know the tide has turned, unless they know the public is waking up, unless they know their era and their epoch, as they say, of unchecked dominance is over. And here's where it gets brutally clear. If they can fake Epstein's death, or maybe not, but if they can fake it, if they can run the biggest swindle in modern history, if they can lie about surveillance and CBDC and lie about wars and lie about pandemics and lie about subterfuge and confinement, if they can manufacture reality itself, then what else are they hiding? Tell me, what do you think? The mask is slipping. The world sees Bill Gates now not as a benevolent genius, but as some kind of, you know about Malthus and Bentham, right? He's like a neo-Malthusian, anti-science kind of a crank, obsessed with controlling bodies and populations, and this weird kind of a transhumanistic horror show. See, the world sees Zuckerberg not as a college kid who connected friends, but as a digital despot, a real creep who created the largest psychological weapon ever built. That's exactly what that is. It's not information that they keep, it's you. And the world sees Altman not as an AI visionary, but as a prophet of transhuman captivity. Are you following me? Is this too much? How do I get this word across to people? When I tell this, listen, I'm telling you right now, people think I'm crazy. They say, what the hell is this guy talking about? Because they don't understand. And rather than them saying, I don't understand, they say I'm crazy. Tell me what I'm supposed to say. How do I get this word across? And in that room, in that moment, they had to face a man they could not cancel, Donald Trump, President Trump, the one figure standing between their dystopian blueprint and America's future. But I can't say that I'm confident in the fact that he knows what's going on. I don't think he does. So let me say it plainly. This is not just about one meeting. It's not about one day at the White House. It's not about that at all. This is about the struggle, my friends, for the destiny of humanity. You think I'm being overdone? You think? You think? You understand this? You think I'm being what? And we've got these yokels, these mamalukes who come along, and the only thing, and whenever the notion, what was happening with Israel is so, all they ever say, have you noticed this, is the USS Liberty. Have you noticed that? That's all. Or they'll say, I'm not going to eat that lab meat. What are you talking? They don't really understand it, but they fancy themselves as understanding it. They really think. They think that just mocking Gates and using words like dystopian and demonic, it's like, that's not going to do it either. We have a lot of people who want to pretend they know what's going on, and they know all the labels. They know all that. They really think, oh, I know what's going on. I know what's going on. No, you don't. Dystopian, cognitive dissonance, planned opposition, HARP, whatever, Operation Popeye, Operation Mockingbird. They just say these things. USS Liberty. Arr, arr, arr. What about it? What are you bringing that for? I don't know. That's what I don't know. What are you going to do about it? What'd you do in the war, Mom and Dad? What'd you do? I didn't do anything. I just watched cable news, and I would go on talk, and I would say USS Liberty. Or I would say something. I would bark and bleat and replicate, do some kind of weird Pavlovian rote repetition, all these great little phrases, because they didn't really understand it. I really couldn't tell you what transhumanism was. I kind of did. And I would say things like, well, this one's demonic or despotic or satanic, but I don't really know why I said that. I just say that. I say that a lot. Stop being that person. You hear what I'm saying? Stop it. Stop with the cute little quips. Stop with the little dime store patellar, little glyphs memes and morphemes and these little retorts and riposts. Stop it. Get down and dirty. Really learn this stuff. Really pay attention and understand how it's a mixture. Yes, they're groveling. Yes, they're evil. But this president sometimes is duped. And Melania, when she comes on and she reads these things about, and listen, God bless her. But when I hear her, I'm thinking, she doesn't understand this. I'm sorry. Let's stop pretending she's this genius and she knows. No, 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 no. Come on. Come on. Please. And it's nothing to do with their accent. Listen, she speaks more than one. Listen, like somebody said, like Don Rickles said, no, Fernando Lama said this. Somebody with an accent means somebody can speak a language you can't. But stop doing this. Stop pretending you're doing this in this gaudy bordello style Oval Office. I don't understand this anymore. Mr. President, you need some real serious people coming in and advising you. I'm going to tell you right now, you need Alex Jones. Not in the public, but say, okay, Alex, what do I need? What do I need to look for? What is going on here? Explain this notion. Why do you keep saying dystopian? And why do you say this is transhumanism? And why do you say this is depopulation? What is depopulation? What does that even, what does that mean? Do you understand where this is? Go back when I mentioned before about Palantir and also with Peter Thiel and others and whatever his partner was. It's all an information conglomerate. They want to seize and shut down everything. Up in the old days, the rich people, all they wanted to do was just make money and corner the gold market and, be into timber and railroads and lumber and, rubber plants and coal mines and gold mines and sugar plantation. That's boring. This is different. And then you thought, okay, well, computer, that's all software. No. And let me put it this way. Imagine if you went back into the early 20th century. Not that far away, but, 100 years ago. And you try to describe what would happen regarding nuclear bombs and nuclear wars. Do you know what they would look at you? They would look at me and you the way people look at us normally every day when we talk about AI. Nobody really understands it. They're saying, this guy keeps talking about these protons and neutrons. I don't know what the hell he's talking about. An explosion out of what? No TNT, no nothing? Out of a ball of what size of an orange? Are you going to make a bomb on? Because you squish it with what? I mean, this guy's talking crazy. That's what we're talking about here. I trust the president, but I understand the president. I trust the president, but I understand him. And I understand his limitations, and I understand where he was. And I understand what he was doing and how he thinks and what. Let me ask you a question. I'm going to ask you a very tough question. I want you to answer my question. What do you think is the goal of our First Lady? What is it? Write your answer down. What do you think it is? What is the goal of our First Lady? Go ahead. What happened with the school shooter investigation? Forget it. Daniel Edwards says appearance, accessory. I think you're very good. Palantir, total control, not to get deported. No. Place in history, maybe. What is the role of the First Lady? What do you think it's really about? Freedom? She wants freedom? You can't use like freedom, liberty, all this. What do you think her goal? What is she there for? What is she there to do? I think Hillary Clinton when she was first lady, wanted a lot more. She really wanted to be involved. So was Eleanor Roosevelt. Everybody had a real cause. Melania Trump has be best and things. I don't even know what it is. It's just this. She shows up sometimes and she says some things, and and most people want to see what she's wearing. And I'm not trying to take anything away from her, but let's just face it. That's what we're talking about here. And people come up with these ideas. She speaks 20 languages. Barron speaks 30 languages. He's a chess genius. He's a genius. We don't know any of this stuff. And I need somebody has to sit down with the president and say, Mr. President, do you understand these people are? We're talking about humanity. Look at me, sir. Look at me when I talk to you. With all due respect, my dear friend, sir. Sir, sir. He loves when he says, sir. He loves when he tells stories where people say, sir. I just said, sir. He loves that stuff. He wants to be the general. He wants to be the boss. He wants to be the leader. He wants to be MacArthur and, all this stuff. And okay, fine. Patton. And he doesn't understand that these people are they live in a world where we are worms, we are rats, we are poultry and fauna, and we're just animals. We don't mean anything. We don't stand for anything. He doesn't care about it. They don't care about it. Look at what I'm telling you. You don't understand something. And let me tell you, if J.D. Vance wins, it's over. They're going to hand the keys to everything to governance to Peter Thiel, who owns him. Peter Thiel even owns Eric Weinstein. Peter Thiel's the guy, not Elon, not George Soros, Peter Thiel. I'm going to keep telling you this. So my question to you is, what do you think we need to do? What do you think? How do we get this? I'm asking you, what do we do? Have you heard how the price of this is the wildest story. Did you see this one? And it's not even being brought about. It goes to show you how people just don't know anything. They don't grasp anything. But the story about energy prices going through the roof because the power that is required to fuel AI is bigger than anything they could ever imagine. You hear that? Anybody? Tell me a story. You ever hear that? You hear that? The media are whispering it now, but soon they won't be able to hide it anymore. The coming energy shock is tied directly to artificial intelligence. We've been told that AI is just software or something. It's just, just code, just clever programming. Wrong. It's a beast, and the beast has to eat. Its diet, electricity, power at levels the grid has never seen. Every so-called AI revolution headline leaves out the truth. The power required to train, run, and maintain these massive language models and endless server farms is bigger than anything regulators or utilities or even the tech elites themselves imagine. We're talking about demand on par with small nations, and it's growing exponentially. Have they explained this to you? Think about this. Every query, every chatbot conversation, every AI generated video. A friend of mine said, what's this Al? And he thought it was AI was Al. I was like, no, I said I, not an Al. Anyway, every AI generated video requires processors stacked in data centers the size of aircraft carriers. You ever think about this? Running hot 24/7, cooled by industrial systems that themselves consume megawatts. You think it costs a lot to harvest Bitcoin? Not like this. Multiply that by billions of daily requests, and suddenly you see why energy prices are exploding. This isn't about your neighbor leaving the lights on. This is about more. This isn't about a few Teslas plugged into the grid. This is a new industrial revolution. But instead of steel mills and oil rigs, it's GPUs and servers sucking down energy like a black hole. And guess who pays? You do. Higher bills, rolling brownouts, politicians blaming climate change, of course, while bowing to the very companies that are destabilizing the grid. And here's the kicker. The same elite folks who say this, who push for AI as humanity's savior, are the same ones screaming about decarbonization. They shut down coal plants, they kneecapped oil and gas, throttled nuclear, and then turned around and built an energy-guzzling monster they can't feed. Are you hearing about this? Are you hearing what people are paying in cost for this? Under President Trump, America had cheap, abundant energy. We were energy independent. Prices were stable. And now, former President Biden and his green agenda business left the grid fragile, and big tech hijacked it for AI. They created demand bigger than our infrastructure could even imagine. And they want you to believe the solution is more about carbon taxes or more restrictions, more control over thermostat and appliances. This is the real story. AI is not free. It's not clean. It's not magic. It's an industrial machine burning energy faster than anything in modern history. Do you hear me? And unless we restore sanity, unleash oil and gas and coal, and yes, nuclear, the cost of running the lights on in your home will skyrocket while Silicon Valley keeps the servers humming. AI may be clever, but it's a parasite. And without America First energy policies, it will drain the middle class dry. Have you heard President Trump mention this? No. Do you think he understands this? No. CO2 is not pollution incognito. You're right. But we're not talking about that. You're talking about something which is great, but nobody's talking about it. Do you know that polar bear populations are thriving? We're not talking about that either. Responding to this is not throwing out something that you know. It doesn't mean, well, here's something I know. The Hipsy thermals and Holocene maxima. No, we're not talking about that. This is not about, see how smart I am? See, I know something. Here's a phrase, the liberty. Listen, stop trying to show people how smart you are. Realize you're dumb. I'm dumb. I'm learning this always. Start off every single day with the realization that you don't know anything. Listen to what I'm telling you. Listen to me. Stop responding. Stop thinking you got to outdo me. Do me one better. Well, here's a funny response. Oh, here's a pun. Who is going to speak for us? Who? Cable news? Who? Nobody. I mean, there's some of us, Alex and others. I still think Alex Jones is the most important voice there is. Who speaks for us? Most people are thinking, oh, I just thought AI was just, computers. No, you don't just plug it in. My friends, our work is cut out for us. Remember something, you have to learn. You have to learn more. You can't keep repeating the same tropes and phrases. That doesn't work. Now do me a great favor, my friend, Mrs. L, Lynn's Warrior, sign up. She's got the best stuff, and she needs your support at lynswarriors.com. Next, make sure you subscribe to Lionel Legal. And also remember our product, our sponsor today, preparedwithlionel.com. Do you really need me to explain to you the idea of emergency food? Seriously. Do you need a pitch? Do you need me to give you facts? Do you need gloss and pictures of empty shelves? I don't think so. This is self-explanatory, and this is deadly serious. Preparewithlionel.com. They have deals a lot, but this one, a free 4-week, 1-month emergency food kit, $247. Go right now, my friend. I'll be putting up pictures of Curtis and me and Kumia and the great Ray Kelly and all these people we saw tonight. Mrs. L was just, oh my God, just gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. We'll put that up for you. Let me thank you so much for being a part of this. Please do not, when I'm your big brother or father or grandfather or whatever you want to call me, and I look at you and I'm saying, you're not getting that, you're not understanding this. It's like I'm seeing somebody who's smoking. It's like, you don't understand what this is. This isn't funny. This is dead serious. Really serious stuff. Nothing funny about this. This is bigger than anything you can imagine. And the next time somebody in your family or a son or a granddaughter has a baby, this is the world they're going to walk into. There's stuff that nobody ever has seen in the world ever. What they'll say to, excuse me, they will never be able. The world that we grew up with, no. We worried about solar. And tell me, did you know that AI was drawing this much power? Do you know about these people who are saying, why are my power bills going through the roof? Why? And they're blaming things that are, no, it's, and nobody who came to the White House is prepared to help the president. All right, dear friends, enough with that. Thank you so much. Have a great, 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 great day. Great day. Remember, go to Lionel Nation. Make sure you subscribe. And also Lynn's Warriors. Lynn's Warriors. Thank you, my friends. We're all in this together, brother. We'll talk to you soon. Have a great and glorious night. Until then, my friends, remember, the monkey's dead. The show's over. Sue you. Dad.